love of divine healing floods into you now. Harmony and wholeness now becomes you. Restoring, recalibrating, and activating every cell within your being. You are who you came here to be. I welcome love. I welcome harmony. I welcome all of the beautiful things that are meant for me. I welcome light. Let it surround me. Grounded and rooted in the earth, we align with the highest frequency. And when the dark clouds come over me, it gets hard, feels like I can't breathe. I rise higher than I've ever been. I look within and listen. You are supported and guided by the higher angelic realms. May you continue to remember throughout all moments. I welcome joy. I welcome destiny. I welcome all of the beautiful things that are meant for me. I welcome peace. I welcome unity. I rise up in line with the highest frequency. When the dark clouds come over me, it gets hard. I feel like I can't breathe. I rise higher than I've ever been. I look within and listen. The highest frequency is love. I breathe it in. I am enough. The highest frequency is love. I breathe it in. I am enough. The highest frequency is love. I breathe it in. Not getting enough. Align with the highest frequency. The highest frequency is love. I breathe it in. I am enough. The highest frequency is love. I breathe it in. I am enough. The highest frequency is love. I breathe it in. I am enough. Align with the highest frequency. I welcome unity. I welcome all of the beautiful, wonderful, glorious things life has in store for me. Your reality has shifted. Yes, I rise up. I rise up. I rise up. Align with the highest frequency. Your external reality will now reflect this inner wisdom. Oh, align with the highest frequency. Divinity has taken course, and so it is.
Meow, 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 your sorrows away. Meow, meow, when you're feeling gray. Hey, meow, 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 let me hear you say. Meow, meow, for a happy day. Yay. here since 2005. 2018 and more, I'm always there for you to find. I'll be your comfort, giving this world some color. Just take a pause and take my paw, and you'll feel better. This might be a little bit cliche, but everything's gonna be okay. Be positive, that's all it is. Don't worry, cause I'm gonna be all in this with you. It's true, so wipe your tears and play. When life gives you cucumbers, let's meow it all away. Meow, 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 your sorrows away. Meow, meow, when you're feeling great. Hey, meow, 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 let me hear you say. Meow, meow, for a happy day. Yay. Meow, 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 here every day. Meow, meow, there all the way. Hey, meow, 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 let me hear you say. Meow, meow, for a happy day. Yay, yay. Always right by your side, here since 2005. Meow, for a happy day. Yay, yay. 2018 and more, I'm always there for you to find. Meow, for a happy day. Yay, yay.
Doesn't this guitar sound so good? So sweet. Living in this big blue world with my head up in outer space. I know I'll be A-OK. I know I'll be A-OK. When I see trouble come my way, I'll be making lemonade. I know I'll be A-OK. I know I'll be A-OK. Hey little lady, I know you're feeling crazy. All your other friends are busy making them babies. Been out in the real world, don't like how it's tasting. Let me change your mind with my little old saying. 2, 4, 6, 8, who do we appreciate? Put some sugar in my water, cause we making Minute Maid. Fuck all the hate, do a shimmy shake. Throw a middle finger up down the interstate. Living in this big blue world with my head up in outer space. I know I'll be A-OK. I know I'll be A-OK. When I see trouble come my way, I'll be making lemonade. I know I'll be A-OK. I know I'll be A-OK. I'd be lying if I said I knew the way. I just eat shit and pretend that it's gourmet. I've had terrible, horrible, no good, very bad days. But I'm a king, can't you see that I will always be A-OK. A-OK. I'm gonna be A-OK. You gonna be A-OK. We gonna be A-OK. Living in this big blue world with my head up in outer space. I know I'll be A-OK. I know I'll be A-OK. When I see trouble come my way,
I've been making lemonade. A-OK.
I know I'll be A-OK.
I'm not here. What's up, folks? A-OK. I love that song. Just a moment, and I shall make my appearance. You just hear my voice right now. Ooh. Nickelodeon. Hold on, I'm stiff. I gotta wake up. Hold on. Oh my god.
Coco19067 just subscribed. Wah.
Oh, I'm on. Okay. I know I was working now. Okay. Okay, hold on. Ooh. Yo! Oh my god. Thank you so much, Coco, for the 28 months. Winfield, thank you for the 43 months. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out my model here. Technical difficulties. I had everything ready except for the biggest thing. There I am. Okay. I'm here. I'm alive.
Winfield Rocks just subscribed.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. I'm alive. Okay. Let's turn this music down a little bit. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the opening music. It's a little collection of my most favorite songs recently. Songs that have been on repeat for me. Alright, let's go through this list. What we got here? We got Azriel with the tier 2 for 31 months. Thank you so much! Whee! We got Wooster! Wooster! Thank you for the 33 months! Thank you, thank you! Welcome in! Yes, sippy sip. Is that a Zen emote? And then, of course, Coco for the 7 months. Thank you! Good luck with your trial! You got this. Alright, we're caught up. Let's see. Alright. Alright, so you guys may have wondered why you've all been gathered here today. For this very important stream. Well, I will let you know there were a couple of people that reached out to me because they were worried something was wrong with me. No, I'm fine. I'm completely fine. Thank you for your concern. This is an important stream because we are going to be having a movie night, but we'll be watching something that I feel like every single person on the planet needs to watch. So it's very important. It's a very important message. And so I figured I'd watch it here with y'all. We could do it together. But it's very important. Okay. It's like the most important message you could ever have as a human. Okay. So it's very important. What's up, Sean? Hi! We're gonna be getting deep tonight, y'all. We're gonna be getting deep. Like, as deep as you can get. We're gonna venture into a black hole tonight. So put on your seatbelts and your underwear. Hello, Patricio! Hi! Sorry I was a little late on that. And what? Bracing just in case? Yes, if you can't watch... Okay, so we're going to be watching a video. It's a very, very, very important video that I feel like everybody needs to watch. But if you can't watch it, then it's okay to just listen. Just listening is fine, too. No going commando? I mean, if that's your vibe, go for it. I support it. Oh, it's nothing bad. No, this is the best. This is the best thing you could ever hear. Did you know? Oh my gosh, Streamlabs. All right, so We'll be starting it here in just a few minutes. It's quite a long video. It's kind of like almost a movie. And there's 2 parts, but I think we might just watch one part and see how you guys are feeling. If you want to watch the second part or not. Yo, what's up, Macho? You're here! Welcome in. Oh, am I too loud? Hold on. Is my mic too loud? I don't know. When I test my mic, I'm not super excited about it. So, like, the levels I put it on might not account for my excitedness. Hi, Biku! Hi! Biku's here! Yay! Yes, everybody's coming in. We will be starting in just a few minutes. I already explained what we're doing for 14 of y'all. But yes, exciting stuff, man. Tonight is super exciting. I'm super excited to share this experience with y'all that we'll be doing. And also for another week of streaming. Like, I haven't had a stream schedule since last year. So I'm excited to do that. Excited to be back. I've been wanting to come back for a while, but I just have not buckled down and committed to it yet. Got a lot going on, man. What have y'all been up to? I'm sure y'all have a lot going on too. Life be crazy. Why is my bitrate so low? Got to go to work in 50 minutes. Okay, well, you can watch most of it then. Okay, so any parts that y'all don't miss, and I'm gonna say this also, that y'all do miss rather. I'm gonna say this also in the Discord and wherever else. If you miss the stream, anybody that misses the stream, I will hope that they will go back and watch the VOD. Takes you an hour to get there. Sheesh! Macho been working, man, I know. Working hard. Alright, we got 18 people up in here. You just leveled up classes? You trying to get all 100s on Final Fantasy? I haven't even finished story yet. I haven't been playing Final Fantasy the past few weeks. I actually haven't been playing anything. Spent a couple of weeks off of my computer and games and stuff. So when I'm gone from Final Fantasy and things like that, that's usually because I'm taking like a detox. I do that quite often. It's good for you to detox from electronics and stuff every once in a while. He works hard for the money. I know, that's exactly what I thought in my mind. 20 people! Oh my gosh! I can't believe we have so many people in here tonight! Y'all, thank you so much for being here! Please stay! We will be starting momentarily. Alright, I think I'm gonna give it 3 more minutes and then we're gonna start. How about that? 3 more minutes. So, that being said, I will repeat what we will be doing. So, this very important stream that I have called you all here to be here for today. It has nothing to do with my health, because I've had a couple of people reach out worried. I'm completely fine. But I just I wanted to share a video with y'all that I felt is really important for people to watch and to see. I feel like it has the most important message. I feel like if every person on the planet could only watch one video, they should watch this video, okay? So I just wanted to share that experience with you guys, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it and get something from it. Please stay or else. I just want to spread this message to as many people as possible, especially those closest to me, okay? So, and that's y'all, so. Naturally, we shall watch it together. Naturally. So, I will ask you to have an open mind and an open heart tonight while you're with us. Comfy, cozy vibes, though we will be going deep into the stuff. I don't know how to explain it. All right, 2 more minutes. Okay. Yes, Jordan. We're going deep. We're gonna venture into a black hole tonight. So put on your seatbelt. Let me get breakfast. Yes, you might want to do that. Grab a snack. We're gonna start in 1 minute. But yes, grab a snack, grab something to drink, get comfy, because we're just gonna watch a video together tonight. I'm so excited to be back. Yes, so yes, I will be streaming tomorrow. Video games, probably. Tomorrow and Thursday, I will be streaming same time. I've had such a good day today. I've been like so high vibes today. Like nothing could bring me down today. It was nice. Haven't had a day like that in a long time. So how was y'all's day? Hopefully y'all had a good Tuesday. Terrible. I'm sorry. Some days do be like that. Surviving the heat. Bruh, I know. It is so hot. Oh, it's miserable. You can't even go outside until it's almost sunset.
Ow, ow.
70 centimeters square window. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in! You came just in time. We are about to start. We're about to embark. We are about to embark on the greatest journey of your lives. Well, maybe not. I wouldn't go that far, but it's gonna be pretty cool, man. All right, we're gonna start. Is everybody ready? Super busy, but I'm feeling good. I'm so glad. That's what I like to hear. Don't ever ask Viz what shader he uses. Oh my gosh, what the heck? Okay, clearly y'all from the FC. Alright, here we go. We're starting. Is everybody ready? Nani! What's all this? Alright. Strife! Oh my gosh, hi! Strife is here. Thank you for the 42 months! Oh my gosh, hi! You made it! Just gonna change a couple of things here. 42 is crazy! I know, man! Thank you so much! Took a 15. Alright, well, hopefully you can get a few minutes of this in. We are watching a very important video. A very important video indeed. Yes, it's a video I feel like every human should watch. And so if you can't watch all of it, I recommend watching the rest of it later. We're starting right now.
Awakening is the next natural stage of human development.
Awakening is simply to recognize the nature of
I'm
our
just like,
essential being.
It's not some weird, mystical, religious experience that's only available to the few. It's available to everyone.
Alright, I'm
what
gonna like
we
make myself
essentially are is
smaller.
already fully awake, fully aware.
And it's totally unlimited.
Your true nature is closer than the you that you think you
My
are.
face is so stupid.
Consciousness is the ultimate reality of the universe.
The next step in science
Crimson, welcome
is to
in!
say that consciousness is fundamental.
What is awakening anyway? Somebody explain that to me.
Where is my camera? Someone explain that to me. Right, here it is. Welcome in to one of the most important videos you'll ever watch in your life. Prepare.
What is awakening? Whether you call it the true self, the immanent self, or no self, or Buddha nature, Tao, or Christ consciousness, it really doesn't matter. In this film, we're going to refer to it as awareness. Awareness is not the property of any religion. Awakening, or realizing awareness, is like waking from a dream. The dream of your character in the play of life. Through our characters, we experience the world in all of its beauty and its ugliness. We can call this experience of life and death duality. Around and around we go, fixated on the character's thoughts and sensations. Good and bad, war and peace, light and darkness, birth and death, until we wake up and find out we are not the character.
Krim, we're watching this video. It's a very important video that I feel like everybody should watch. That's the important thing. The invitation!
In this film, we are extending an invitation for you to directly experience your true nature, to find out directly, not intellectually, who are you? We will repeat this invitation in different ways.
Like Mufasa said, who are you?
When inquiring into who you are,
Yes, thank for the gift sub
let
to Krim.
everything
Thank you, thank
be
you.
exactly as it is. Don't move the mind to make something happen, or to find some answer on the level of mind. And yet, don't try to push away the mind. Simply intend to directly experience who you are, letting the mind be a don't know mind. Awakening is the answer to all of the world's problems, on every level.
That's why
All
it's so
of the
important.
world's problems stem from a delusion, the fundamental delusion of the mind. And that delusion is that I am this limited character.
When we're living from a small separate self, there's always some kind of perpetual dissatisfaction. So this can be big dissatisfaction like trauma, or it can be just this background feeling. Something's not right. Something's wrong. I'm missing something. Even when I have some pleasure, even when I achieve something in world, even when I have a good relationship, if I just have a pause or a moment, there's this dissatisfied feeling like I'm isolated or cut off from something. So this feeling, which it seems like most people have, can motivate us to awaken from that small separate self whose nature is a kind of separation anxiety.
This limited character has a tendency to grasp for what it wants. It's just a collection of conditioned patterns of craving what it wants or trying to push away what it doesn't want. It's this endless process of, you could say, a pleasure principle, going after pleasure, avoiding pain. And if we believe we are this character, this conditioned pattern,
I feel like
then
we've all been
we
there.
suffer, and we create suffering in the world. The world becomes a reflection of that egoic consciousness. The benefit of awakening is that you suffer less, and the people around you suffer less.
There's no doubt in my mind that my initial connection with my understanding of God was an awakening for me in my life, the biggest awakening that I've ever experienced. It was very much as if I had been asleep really for 50 years, walking around like a robot, just doing the things that I was taught to do from the time I was a young man. You know, I had the whole formula down. Get the girl, get the car, get the job, get the house, get the spouse. A formula that I really thought was how life was supposed to work, until I got to be around 53 years old, and I realized that while I had done most of those things and had become professionally successful to a degree, then I realized that none of it mattered. I woke up somewhere around the age of 53 realizing none of this matters. None of this means anything. Was shocked to find how little it really meant, how pointless it all was.
Sheesh. Who are you? Oh my gosh. Hold on. I gotta bring up my I gotta bring up something real fast. My Steam Deck. Not the A-Team. Why did I type in the A-Team? What the heck? My Stream Deck. I would say Steam Deck. It's not a Steam Deck. Oh, this damn thing ain't even plugged in. Alright, we're gonna continue.
When you stop following the script that has been laid out for your character, the one inherited from parents, society, and biological conditioning, then new dimensions open up within the game. The path opens up. But it is not a path to reach some destination. It is a pathless path, a stripping away of illusion to arrive exactly where you are, in the now.
Alright, I got the headpads. Who are you? Only you can decide that.
My name is Rupert Spira.
Only you can
I speak
discover
about
that.
the essential non-dual understanding that underlies all the great religious and spiritual traditions. And I write and lead guided meditations and have conversations whose purpose is to lead to an experiential recognition of this understanding. Understand that the peace and the happiness for which we all long above all else can never, by definition, be found in objective experience. It can never be provided by objects, substances, activities, and relationships. I would suggest understanding that clearly and not spending the rest of one's life seeking fulfillment where it cannot be found.
100.
Anyone who is watching this movie is doing so precisely because they have either understood or at least intuited that the peace and happiness for which they long cannot be found in objective experience, and have begun this investigation into their true nature. That is the most important investigation one can make, and it is the investigation upon which depends our happiness.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest question
And
of my
Juni
life,
wants you to
of
be
course,
happy.
which I believe is the question most people look at sooner or later, is what is the point actually? What is the point of life? And much to my surprise, I was told that the point of life had nothing to do with anything that I was doing. It wasn't about my job. It wasn't about my career. It wasn't about
hardly anything in my physical life. Those were aspects of my life, but they were not the point of my life. The point of my life, as I have come to understand it, was for me to experience, express, demonstrate, and fulfill my true identity, who I really am. I think that the biggest question that most people face is a question that hardly anyone ever asks themselves or ever answers. The biggest question of life, in my understanding, is, who am I? Who am I?
Ooh, I'm getting chills.
Am I simply a physical entity, like a bird in the sky or a fish in the sea? You know, perhaps more sophisticated, but just a physical entity. I'm born, I live, I die. That's the beginning and the end of it. Or is it possible, just possible, that I'm more than that? Is it possible that I'm a spiritual entity, simply having a physical experience?
Every experience in your life has brought you to this one universal question. Who are you? Don't look for an answer with the mind. Let everything be exactly as it is.
These symbols are so wild. Like, you see something different
Who
every
is
second
aware of the
looking at this thing.
mind? Feel everything that comes up. Who is aware of those feelings? Have a complete experience of everything that
Child
comes
of
up
God. Yes,
as a
watch
result
out.
of your inquiry.
2BB! Thank you for the follow. Welcome in.
I'm Donald Hoffman, and I'm a professor emeritus of cognitive sciences at the University of California at Irvine. My work has been teaching students, although now I'm emeritus, so I don't teach. And now I do research. I do research on, right now, on consciousness, mathematical models of consciousness, and how physics and space-time might arise from a theory of consciousness that's completely mathematically precise. My own journey has been both from the spiritual side and from the science side. So my father was a minister, a fundamentalist Christian minister. So I got that, on Sundays, and I got science at school, and they conflicted, right? The stories I was getting were contradictory. And so as a teenager, I realized I needed to figure things out for myself. And I decided the question I wanted to answer was, are we machines? Are people just machines or not? I mean, from the physicalist point of view, we would just be machines. From a spiritual point of view, we wouldn't be machines. It wasn't precise enough to say what we would be. And so I decided to ask the question scientifically, are we just machines? And the best way I thought to do that would be to study artificial intelligence. And so I went to MIT and was in the artificial intelligence
It's a
lab.
very interesting
studying
reason
artificial
to
intelligence,
go into AI.
and also in what's now the brain and cognitive science department, studying the human side of things, because I wanted to do both. I wanted to study what can machines do and what's special, if anything, about humans and human neuroscience. To answer the very question, are the spiritual traditions right? Are we more than just machines? Or is the physicalist scientific point of view right? And we are just machines, and consciousness is just an artifact of brain activity.
Interesting.
The scientific materialist paradigm that has been predominant in the last century denies the existence of anything beyond the physical.
Bye, Crimson.
Anything
Have
that
a good rest
cannot
of your
be
night.
verified by the scientific
Please check out the
method.
VOD.
Science is at an impasse. It cannot move beyond the paradox that is fundamental to quantum physics, which brought it face to face with the observer, with consciousness itself. Likewise, religions are for the most part functioning only on the level of belief. They've lost their original purpose, which was to lead to direct experience of the truth of who and what we are. The split between science and spirituality has rendered both impoverished. Religions and spiritual systems desperately need rigorous methods, which can be shown to create conditions for awakening to happen. And science desperately needs an openness to the possibility of something beyond the physical. It is not about giving up religion or science, but about going deeper, being willing to change ourselves
Indeed.
so that we become a better tool for investigation. We are the ones doing the experiment and the experiment itself.
Glad you can make it in, Seishi.
Religion has been the language and the container of these traditions of meditation, spirituality, that have been written down and passed on through the generations. Now, certainly there is some language that is very literal, which divides religions and divides cultures when things are taken literally. But if you feel the spirit of religion, you can follow the thread back to authentic awakening. Anyone has the potential, whether they have belief or no belief, because awakening is inherent within our human consciousness just by our human birth. So whatever you call it and whatever language is used, there's certain principles that seem to be the same throughout these different religions and spiritualities and meditation traditions.
When I was younger, this understanding was mainly available in the Eastern spiritual traditions. It was available in the Western traditions, but it was so disguised and codified in those traditions as to be almost inaccessible. So many people of my generation went physically, or at least intellectually, to the East to find this understanding. And Eastern culture, by comparison with Western culture, is
Thank you.
exotic.
Oh, you don't know how bad I need
And so
that.
this
Thank you so much.
understanding acquired a flavor of the exotic from the cultures in which it was expressed. And many people, myself included, thought as a result of this that there was something exotic about the non-dual understanding, that it required some extraordinary way of life. You had to give up family life, or grow your hair, or get a special name, or subscribe to some kind of teacher or tradition, or engage in strange practices. All these kind of things which had nothing to do with the core understanding, and they were to do with the culture in which the understanding was expressed at a particular time. So now the understanding has been completely divested of the traditional cultural packaging in which many of us first heard about it, and now just the essential understanding is available in a way that enables us to carry on leading our lives exactly as they are. Family life, work life. It's not necessary to make any external changes in one's life.
The challenge we have on this planet is that we think there's more than one essence. So we live in a world of what I would call duality.
Hi, Dale. Welcome in.
There's male and female, black and white.
We're watching a very important
big and
video
small,
tonight. A
fast
video
and
every
slow,
single
up
human
and
should
down,
watch.
Here, there,
Very, very important.
before and after. But
So
in
enjoy.
fact, there's only one thing. All things are one thing. And there is only one thing. So it turns out that when we look deeply at everything, we see that here and there, big and small, fast and slow, up and down, left and right, male and female, are all the same thing, simply expressing different characteristics, but in no way separate from each other. I believe that all of us are individuations of God. I believe that God exists in, as, and through every human being. and for that matter, every sentient being in the cosmos. So I see then that I am in relationship to God
I love this analogy.
as a wave is to the ocean. The wave is no different from the ocean. It's simply an arising of the ocean in individual form. And when that individuation is complete, the wave recedes back into the ocean whence it came, to arise again on another day. And so I believe that we are all individuations of divinity. And when we see everything as divine, we change our relationship with everything. And everything becomes different in our experience. That's how the world changes.
One love, one life.
Consciousness is the ultimate reality of the universe. So we might well ask, if consciousness is the ultimate reality of the universe and everything and everyone is obviously that, then how come that the world appears to us as a multiplicity and diversity of discrete and independently existing people and animals and things, all made out of stuff called matter? How can we reconcile this statement that consciousness is the ultimate reality of the universe when it appears as a multiplicity and diversity of objects made out of matter?
So the evidence that I'm using.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause it right here to say something. So going back to what that old dude was saying. So anybody who's of the Christian faith could kind of see what he was saying as I've seen it described as everyone is a child of God, right? To the Christian faith. And so we're all a part of God. And so in result, we are all one and the same, but it doesn't have to be just in Christianity. It's in a lot of other religions too. And you can call it God, you can call it, whatever you want. Everybody has different beliefs. But the ultimate reality is that we all come from that one source, and we are all just reflections of each other from that source, and that includes animals, plants, like every living thing ever. And now this dude earlier was saying, well, why does everything look and feel like we're individuals and this and that? And so they're going to explain that.
To suggest that consciousness is fundamental has many aspects to it. One is that physics itself says that space-time isn't fundamental, and evolutionary theory also agrees that space-time and physical objects are not fundamental reality. Now, both of those theories tell us only that space-time is not fundamental. They don't tell us what is beyond space-time. And so my argument is that what the physicists are finding beyond space-time, they're finding mathematical structures, but what those are about is not really clear. What is this realm beyond space-time about? And so I'm proposing that the realm beyond space-time is about consciousness.
And I would suggest that infinite consciousness has the ability to localize itself as numerous separate subjects of experience. That is, all sentient beings, all people, all animals. Each of us are localizations of infinite consciousness, in infinite consciousness, made only of infinite consciousness, from whose perspective it views its own activity as the outside world. So what appears to us as a world made out of matter, from our localized perspectives, is, from the point of view of reality, simply the activity of the one infinite consciousness. In other words, in the ultimate analysis, there are no discrete or independently existing things or people. There is one infinite, indivisible whole.
And that being said, since we are all one whole, that's why we should practice the most important thing, which is love and kindness for every person, like especially people and animals and everything else. Because if you're hurting somebody else, then ultimately you're hurting yourself. You may not feel it, but you're hurting the overall consciousness and collective. So in the end, you're really hurting yourself. So we should practice love and kindness, people.
The unity of being that is
If
only
more people
refracted
understood that,
into an apparent multiplicity
be
and
a better
diversity
place.
of objects and things when the one looks at its own activity through the perceiving faculties of the finite mind.
If we are awake, we realize that there's one awareness that is disguised as all of these different beings on the planet. One awareness shining through everyone's eyes, then we literally see ourselves.
Welcome to
in
your awakening.
others. And that tendency to operate as an ego, the tendency to take for oneself falls away because we directly realize the truth. The truth is that we're all one consciousness.
The experience of my spiritual self was only possible in the realm of the physical for a very good reason. Because only in the realm of the physical was the opposite available. In other words, just to use a simple example, if I wanted to experience myself, if I could speak metaphorically, as the light, I couldn't experience being the light if I was amidst the light, nothing else around me but the light, which is a perfect definition of the realm of the spiritual. So I would come to a realm which I call the realm of the physical, where there is something other than the light. Because if I want to experience myself as the light, not just know myself as that, but experience it, I could only do that where there was the opposite of the light, in this case, the darkness. So I brought myself to the physical realm where the light and the dark exist simultaneously. And then in that outward expression of myself as the light, I could be who I really am.
This understanding suggests that behind our differences, we are all the same being, not a similar being, but we are all literally one, the same being. And love is the felt experience of this oneness or shared being.
It's a theorem of our theory that there is ultimately one consciousness. So we have this dynamics of many, many conscious agents, but the theory tells us that ultimately all those conscious agents are really just projections of a single one consciousness. The current paradigm in science has, and it has been for centuries, is that space and time are the fundamental nature of reality. They're irreducible, and they are the foundation of everything. And prior to Einstein, space and time were viewed as separate. Now space and time together,
he's so
unified
cute.
into space-time, are viewed as the fundamental nature of reality. And science has then assumed that space-time and objects in space-time are the foundational reality. And so, for example, when we talk about consciousness, consciousness itself then must be somehow a product of objects in space and time. In that physicalist framework, space and time and physical objects, without any consciousness, are the fundamental reality. And consciousness comes later on in the evolution of the universe, right? So that the Big Bang, there was no consciousness, there was just space-time and energy. The energy coalesced into massive particles, and eventually life emerged after who knows how many millions or hundreds of millions or billions of years. Then after that, consciousness came even later. From that point of view, when you die, the physical complexity that gave rise to consciousness dissolves, and so your consciousness dissolves. And so the physicalist framework really does eliminate consciousness as a fundamental thing altogether, and says that when your body dies, your consciousness goes with it.
Very true, Dale.
From this other point of view, what I've done with my colleagues is we used evolutionary theory to point out that it's an implication of evolutionary theory that space and time is not fundamental. So the physicalist interpretation of evolution is wrong. The idea that space and time and particles somehow have evolved to human organisms is the wrong framework, because space-time itself is not fundamental. We're positing a dynamics beyond space-time that's much richer, this dynamics of consciousness. What we do not do is throw away our old theories. When physicists say space-time is doomed, that doesn't mean we no longer pay attention to Einstein. Absolutely not. We pay attention to Einstein. Any new theory beyond space-time that the physicists come up with better project into space-time and give us back Einstein, and it better give us back quantum theory, or you're wrong. Right? So all of our old theories are wonderful, wonderful friends, and we're going to keep them as special cases of a deeper theory. So in our theory of consciousness, we have to do the same thing. We can't just propose anything we want. We have to have a theory of consciousness that projects and gives us back space-time. It gives us back quantum theory. It gives us back special and general relativity, and it gives us back evolution by natural selection. If we cannot do that in precise mathematical detail, then there's no reason for scientists to take our theory of consciousness seriously.
It's as if infinite consciousness puts on a virtual reality headset, as it infinite consciousness puts on a VR headset made of thinking and perceiving. And in doing so, the moment it puts on the VR headset, it localizes itself within its own activity. And through that headset, it looks out through the perceiving faculties of a finite mind, seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling. And it fragments the unity of its own being and makes it appear as 10,000 things. What I'm suggesting is that
Hi, Dr. Sprite.
there is very much more to the universe.
Welcome
than the
in to
finite
this
mind.
awesome
I'm not
journey
suggesting
that we're experiencing tonight.
the universe only appears in each of our finite minds. The universe exists outside of our finite mind, but inside consciousness. But it is the limitations of our finite mind that give the universe its appearance. So when we look out at the universe, we're seeing the reality that exists prior to its being perceived, but we are seeing it through the lens of our perceiving faculties, which gives it its appearance.
Yes.
So the idea of awakening in many spiritual traditions has been the idea that what we have taken as reality, objects in space and time, our physical bodies and so forth, is not the final reality, that there's a much deeper reality, a reality of consciousness that transcends space and time and physical objects, and that we're not divorced from that reality. That reality is, in some sense, the essence of what we are. And so awakening is awakening from the illusion that I'm just a little body in space and time to the fact that I'm, in fact, the author of everything I see inside of space and time. I create it on the fly as I look and perceive.
Been doing well, Dr. Sprite. Thank you for stopping in. It has been a while. We're just watching a really important video that I feel like your body should
One
watch
becomes
at least
awakened
once.
by
So I hope you can enjoy it
recognizing
with us.
that what we essentially are is already fully awake, fully aware, complete, whole, fulfilled, at peace. It's like asking how does the sun become illuminated? Its nature is light. It is already fully illuminated. The nature of our essential being is already peace and happiness. It's not clear to us all because our essential being is so thoroughly mixed with the content of experience that its innate peace and happiness is dimmed by experience. And for that reason, we think that our essential being needs to be enlightened. No, our essential being doesn't need to be enlightened any more than the sun needs to be lit up in the early morning. The sun's always shining with the same brightness. Our essential being is always shining with the same peace and joy. But that peace and joy are dimmed by the agitation and lack that characterizes our thoughts and feelings.
Yes,
There's
it's all in your
no
mind.
person that awakens. So the I that awakened, I awakened from this Dan structure at a meditation center. It was a Zen center. We were doing a Zen sesshin, which is a long period of intensive practice. So Zen is amazing for creating this container where there are these conditions of no escape. So the Dan character that had learned meditation, the Dan character had been doing all this meditation. This doer of meditation realized that it couldn't awaken. It's like all the meditation tricks, all the practices that had been learned were of no use. It got to the point where that character who was trying to awaken failed to awaken and had to fail. The character that I'd been living, the character that I'd been playing all my life had to let go or die. And what was left when that character, when there was no doer, when there was no meditator meditating or doing something called meditation, what was left was my true nature, or me, just me.
When we awaken from
So I will say, if y'all are confused about what the heck he just said, he said he had his awakening when he was practicing at a Zen meditation center. And generally, really the only way, really, it's not really, I guess it's not the only way, but it's usually the only way that you can really discover this, you know, like feel what all these people are saying, is through meditation. And so I guess he was saying that he finally, you know, he meditated, and then he got to the point where he didn't feel like he was just himself. He felt like he was a part of everything, you know, and that's a very, very real feeling. And it's a feeling that I have personally experienced. I've only experienced it one time, but it was amazing. Like it is the best feeling you will ever feel in your life, because you know it's the truth. And you can't really explain it, and you can't really, like, it may sound crazy if you haven't experienced it, but you just have to experience it for yourself. And generally, the way to do that is through meditation, and meditation can be difficult if you haven't done it before, if you're not used to it, but you have to look inside yourself. Like, that's the only place that you're going to find any real answers, and the best way to do that is to sit down and meditate and just like clear your mind. Just don't think about anything. That is the formula. You have to just not think. You have to shut off your brain and just listen. Just listen. And I saw something that really spoke to me one time. It's actually on Facebook, but it said, this is for Christians too. This said, a prayer is when you talk to God, but meditation is when you listen to God. Let that sink in. I just want to say that.
this small, separate sense of self, it's not that we're killing the ego or we're fighting it. It's actually we're allowing it to semi-retire from its job of ego identity, and then relax to be part of our team, part of our consciousness. And this gives us a sense of freedom immediately, that we're not looking at the world through a small lens, that we're open-hearted and open-minded in a way that's expansive and yet.
Okay, I'm gonna say right now, Macho, that's not true. I have ADHD to the extreme, my dude, and it you can do it. I promise you can do it. There are so many plans and like courses and people out there to help you. Like, don't expect to go into meditation and just be able to sit there in stillness and all this and other and to be able to do it, because that's probably not going to happen. You're probably going to have to go through guided meditations that help you focus your attention on certain things. So usually guided meditation will have you focus on your breath. So you focus only on your in-breath and your out-breath. And you have thoughts that come up and arise. Don't get frustrated with them. Just acknowledge them and let them go, because everything's impermanent, right? Acknowledge them and let them go, and go back to your breath. And then there's also body scan meditations where you think about how do you feel in your hands, or how you feel in your legs, or your right leg, or you're going to focus your attention on your left arm. Like, there are ways, I promise. Just got to try it.
At the same time,
and if you need help, let me know.
More intimately connected.
enlightenment is not about becoming awakened. Nobody becomes awakened or enlightened. It's a recognition of the light of pure knowing, whose nature is peace and happiness, that we always and already are.
My name is Lisa Natoli, and I'm known as a spiritual teacher. I teach about healing and awakening and transformation. Awakening is the recognition of your true nature.
Bro, Dale, I'm so down for that. If y'all want to do a meditation stream, of course, we're not going to stream the whole time because, I mean, that's just not possible. We're not going to meditate for 3 hours. We're not monks here. But I will do meditation with y'all. I would love to. If that's something, like if y'all come to me and y'all want to do that, I would love to do that. Anytime. Yes. Absolutely. Is that Dee Dee? Hi, Dee Dee. Thank you for the sub. 23 months. Welcome in on our spiritual journey. Enjoy the ride.
And it's the realization of what you really are, which is consciousness. And consciousness is just one word for many words that people use for awareness, life, love, God, light. It's like waking up to the recognition that I'm not this body, that I am that which never dies and that which is never born. And the easiest way for me, that was a very difficult idea for me. I've been on a spiritual path since 1992. I started with A Course in Miracles. I studied it religiously. I mean, I was someone who was so committed to knowing the self, knowing God, waking up. I couldn't get it because I was under the belief that awakening was something mystical, that something would happen, that something would occur, and it would be like Jesus or Buddha or all of these enlightened masters. And it wasn't happening for me. I couldn't understand, like, why am I so committed? And I'm having deep moments of peace and happiness and joy, and still struggling. I started to realize the simplicity of our true nature, which is awareness. So, for someone who's listening to me right now, the awareness that's hearing this voice, that's what we are. And it doesn't have a location, it doesn't have a gender, it doesn't have a color, it doesn't have a body, and it's totally unlimited.
So love everyone.
So awakening is where we wake up.
None of that matters.
To
just
our
love
true
each other.
nature. We wake up to the realization.
Absolutely, Dee Dee.
That I am the awareness.
No more samsara.
of this experience right now, as I'm here, and it's so ordinary we miss it. we think it can't be that simple.
The recognition of our true nature, it doesn't lead to happiness. It is happiness. That the nature of being is happiness itself. So the recognition of our true nature is the experience of happiness.
Yes, just be present. Live your life. It's just a game, man. You're here to live and enjoy yourself.
In this moment, the mind will look for something or try to complicate it. You already are that which the mind is looking for. The mind will always miss it, so don't look to the mind for an answer. Don't push away your thoughts, and don't get caught in the thoughts. Simply let go of the interest or attachment to thoughts, ideas, and beliefs. Intend to directly experience who you are. Don't try to negate the mind or to achieve some state. All doing, all manipulation, all movement is more controlling by the mind. Allow the mind to be as it is. Sometimes
Absolutely,
people can
Maestro.
awaken just in day-to-day life. They don't necessarily need practice. So sometimes things will happen in life where there's an interrupt in the pattern of view, and there can be a spontaneous awakening. But if someone's life is just going on in a kind of robotic pattern or repetitive pattern, then some sort of intervention is necessary if one is called to awakening. And that interrupt in the pattern of view is sometimes called sadhana or spiritual practice. And these practices are always conditioned. They're something that we learn with the conditioned mind, so they can make it more likely for awakening to happen, sort of by loosening the bonds within the self-structure. Sometimes they say that awakening happens by accident, but the practice makes you more accident-prone. The techniques, the practices can be very useful to make you more accident-prone, but they, at a certain point, have to be let go. Because if the mind is continuously doing some practice or something, then the mind has the reins. The mind is in the driver's seat. So the practices are useful, very useful as stepping stones for making the self-structure, you could say, less dense, or lightening up the self-structure so that it becomes more permeable to our true nature.
By the way, anybody that if any of y'all have had an awakening experience, we can share those at any time. I will share mine. If y'all are interested in mine and my experience with this topic, I will share it after this movie.
The paradox with practice is that when you finally awaken, you realize that all of the practices were being done by the false self, the character in the VR game, and that you, the true self, was never bound. All you have to do is give up the preferences of the ego, to give up the fixation on things. Anything within the field of changing phenomena is not the true self. The you that you think you are, the you that you've always been identified with, will never awaken. You awaken from that character. You awaken from the delusion that you are this conditioned character. So when people come to these retreats, they think, you know, this little me is going to awaken, some great thing is going to happen. But at a certain point, that little me will never do it. It has to give up, it has to fail. And it's only in that failure we realize who we are, that we've always been aware, we've always been present. We just got hooked into this character and we believed we were that.
Yeah, that's why I like the Persona games. They're very tied to this kind of stuff.
I started my spiritual search in the classical Advaita Vedanta tradition, which was a devotional path that involved mantra meditation, which I practiced very diligently for 20 years. And mantra meditation involves focusing your attention on a sound, and then gradually the sound fades. However, it was really when I came in touch with the direct path that my spiritual search really reached its culmination, because in this direct approach, we don't give our attention to any object, however subtle, for instance, a mantra, a sound, the breath. We allow our attention to sink inwards or backwards into its source.
Let's use an analogy. Imagine that you are watching your life on a television screen. You are identified with the character on the screen. Day after day, year after year, you are involved with the story of the character. When suddenly, you wake up out of the story to notice the screen on which the character appears, and you realize you are not the character you have been watching. Objects can come and go on the screen.
It's kind of like what you said, Dale.
Characters come and
It's
go.
the first step.
But the screen remains unchanged. The character can get wet, but the screen does not get wet. The character can be disturbed, but the screen is not disturbed. Without the screen, the characters would not exist. Yet the screen goes unnoticed. The characters go about their scripted lives. Awareness is like the screen. It is like the space in which all thoughts, emotions, all states of consciousness come and go. Thoughts, sensations, and the entire outside world appear on the screen, constantly changing, but the screen does not change. It's...
So when he said that, that kind of made me think of, like, you know, when we play video games or when we watch movies, we get so, like, involved in it, you know, like with our characters that we're playing or with the stories of these characters in these movies, that we forget. Like, we forget about our bodies, unless, like, our back start hurting or our butt start hurting or some junk. Then you'll be like, ow, my butt hurts. But until that happens, you're like, you forget that you exist, right? You exist in the video game, and then hours and hours pass. Like, that's a great analogy for our lives. Like, our souls are like, would be our bodies, and then the lives we live would be like the video game that's playing out, or the movie that we're watching. You know, we forget about the soul until something, like, happens, something hurts. Like, you know, ow. Somebody, you know, my true love of my life just broke up with me, or you know, somebody that I hold dearly passed away, and it's like, ow, that hurts. Wait, where is this coming from? Like, it's just, yeah. That's a great analogy.
the mind that changes states through the human experience, but there's something, not what you are, that remains, something that is ever present, that is aware of those changing states, and that is consciousness, or our true nature. As long as there is attachment to a character on the screen, a sense that I am that character, then there will be suffering, Maya, the illusion of the self. Nothing you can do as the dream character will help to free you. Whether you follow the script in the drama of your life, or rebel against the script, if you act from the point of view of the character, then you're caught in the illusion. To awaken, stop identifying with what appears on the screen. Recognize that it is all impermanent. Stop reacting to thoughts and treating the program as real. If I withdraw attention from the screen, turning awareness towards itself, an unfathomable thing happens. Awareness itself wakes up. This is not a happening. Happening is what happens on the screen. Awakening is just recognizing the screen that was always already there. Do not believe your next thought. Instead, turn awareness towards awareness itself.
And yes, that's hard, man. That's hard. Because we're all human, and we all feel these big emotions, and we go through these ups and downs. And it can be really hard to dissociate yourself, like you said, Dale, from your emotions and that moment. So I will not ever kick anybody for not being able to do that, or for not understanding, you know, because that's part of our journey here, is to learn how to do that. It's not easy. It's very difficult.
I have always been myself. My sense of myself runs throughout my life. It remains consistently present throughout my life. What is present in me now, that was present yesterday, last year, 10 years ago, and when I was a 2-year-old child? What is this essential I or self to whom all my experience happens? The recognition of the nature of that one is the great secret to life. It is the direct path to peace and happiness.
It's not something that a person initiates. It's something that a person recognizes. To recognize, that is to know again what we've known from the beginning, but have simply forgotten or denied or failed to believe. So we cannot initiate closeness to God. We can simply recognize, to recognize that it's always been there and will always be there.
It was only this direct pointing to awakening, this opening to what's already here, that allowed me to find a new way of being, a new stage of development.
Many people think it's a very impossible or out of reach goal to know the self. And my own sort of purpose as a teacher, just because of my own awakening, has really been wanting to make it very practical, very down to earth. I love to teach people. It's available to everyone.
If we...
Bika, what you said about tabloids and entertainment news, yes, I kind of agree with that. But if you refer to like actual news and world events, I think it is very important especially for those that are awakened and that are conscious and, you know, do feel like they came here in this life to raise consciousness and to help humans as a collective. It's very important for us to be a part of that, to be a part of world events, because we're here for the human experience. Everybody is here for the human experience, and it's important to be a part of that. But especially for those that are here to help others, to be healers and teachers and, you know, of the spiritual kind, because that will help us relate to others and know their suffering. It's very important to know suffering and to know other people's suffering so that you can help. I will say that.
Believe and feel that we are a temporary, finite, separate self. We are, whether we know it or not, searching for peace and happiness. In other words, it's not possible to be a separate self or to feel oneself as a separate self and not be in search of happiness. So what is required in this case is to reorientate one's search for happiness. Instead of seeking for happiness in the objective content of experience, to seek happiness in oneself. So the spiritual practice that is required is to direct one's attention, or more accurately, to relax one's attention into its source, pure awareness, rather than direct it towards an object, substance, activity, relationship, and so on. So the spiritual practice, if we can call it a practice, would be this relaxing of the attention, this subsidence of the attention into the heart of awareness, resting in being as being.
Love. Pure love is my true self.
Yes!
It's my true nature.
That's it! You
Pure
got it,
love
old
for
dude!
everyone and everything, for every aspect of life, even those things with which I disagree.
For one who has recognized the nature of their being, they know their being as the source of the peace and happiness for which they long. So the world no longer becomes the place in which they seek happiness, seek fulfillment. It doesn't mean to say that such a person no longer has desires, but the desires are not there to fulfill the sense of lack that is characteristic of the separate self.
Yep.
As
Live in the
such a
present
person
moment.
has found the source of happiness within themselves, and their desires come from that sense of happiness. They do not go towards it. For instance, in the realm of relationship, it makes a big difference to our relationships. We no longer seek an other to fulfill the needs of ourself. We seek another to share the experience of happiness that we already have. And
That's
this
totally
relieves
understandable, Coco.
our friends of the impossible burden of providing happiness for a voracious, unsatisfied self.
Nothing occurs in my life.
Macho, I personally, I don't think that we should reject the world. I think that we should become observers. You should observe the world and experience it, but experience it from an observer standpoint.
That has not brought me benefit or will not bring me benefit, in the sense that every moment, every activity, every outcome moves me forward in the process of the evolution of my soul. And that's why I came here to the physical realm, to evolve.
Oh yes, I agree with that, Macho, definitely.
Remain open. Feel your inner aliveness, letting energy circulate freely. Don't try to make anything happen. Who is aware of that energy, that inner aliveness? Notice the mind's tendency to control and manipulate, to get involved. Without the use of your memory or language, who are you? Beyond the mind and senses, who are you? Who is aware?
Look at all these different shapes, man. It's crazy. And if you'll notice, it looked like there's a bunch of Buddhas, like in all these different shapes. If you look in a certain way, it'll look like the Buddha shape.
Many people who are hearing these ideas for the first time, they've never even heard of the idea of the self. In my mind, there's two different camps of people. There are those who are on a spiritual path and they have heard this idea. They're trying to reach the self. They're trying to be the self. They're seeking, they're searching. And then there's other people who have just been living their life. They've never heard of these ideas before. They've never heard of know thyself. And many people think know thyself means know the body, know yourself, be authentic. What it really means is to know thyself, is to know what you are in truth, to really know your true nature.
The words know thyself were carved on the entrance of the Temple of Apollo in Delphi, and as such stand as an invitation at the dawn of Western civilization to humanity, suggesting that to know thyself is really the foundation of all civilization. Why? Because our self stands at the center of all our experience. Whatever we are experiencing, it is we who are experiencing it. Whatever we think and feel, our thoughts and feelings arise on behalf of ourself. Whatever activities and relationships we are engaged in, we engage those activities and relationships in service of ourself. So our self stands at the center of our experience. So what could be more important than to know the nature of ourself? And would it be possible to know the nature of anything else if we do not first know the nature of that which knows it?
I think awakening is about ending the nightmare and stepping into the dream. What by that I mean, we desert or finally abandon the nightmare of what we've been told about life, about God, and about ourselves. And we step into the dream of our grandest notion. I often ask, what do you think your life would be like if you found yourself stepping into the highest, grandest, most wonderful thought you ever had about God and about life and about yourself?
So this recognition of our true nature is not only the recognition that brings our desire for happiness in the world to an end. It is also the recognition that enables us to live in a way that is consistent with the understanding that at the deepest level, everything and everyone are one. This understanding would bring kindness, compassion, justice, tolerance, understanding into our society. Our society would be revolutionized
That's why it's so
by this
important.
understanding.
As humanity lets go of ego-based approaches, then science, religion, politics, and economics start to reflect the perennial wisdom. Whether it is the native traditions who realize great spirit in all things, or the Egyptian Kemetic traditions who describe the human evolutionary journey from the lowly scarab to a one source. Or when we hear the words of the mystics of the Christian, Hindu, Muslim, or Buddhist traditions, or the teachings of Plato and Plotinus, we find that those who have realized their true nature speak of groupings of conscious agents. Of course, they use the language of their culture and times to express the one perennial truth. Science is now starting to see not a world of unconscious particles and fields, but a universe made of conscious agents. Something new is emerging in the world of science. As Nikola Tesla said, the day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in one decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. That day is today.
Getting chills.
Every time that we've had a mathematically precise advance in science, it has opened up new technologies that look like magic compared to what we had before. So my feeling is that this theory of conscious agents beyond space-time will give us technologies that will be truly mind-boggling. For example, right now, most of the galaxies that we see, I think 97% of the galaxies that we see, we can never go to. They're receding from us faster than the speed of light. So that they're not moving through space faster than the speed of light. Space itself is expanding so quickly that their speed moving away from us is greater than the speed of light. So we could never travel through space to go to 97% of the galaxies that we can see. So there's all this real estate out there that's waving at us and saying, hi, we're out here, and you can never come to us. That's if you go through space-time. But what if you realize that space-time is just your headset? It's just the format of a game. And you're not stuck inside the headset. You can play with the software
What did that
that's
dude
running
do?
the game. So it's like someone who's like in Grand Theft Auto. You're a wizard of Grand Theft Auto. So you know how to use the car and drive the roads and you can beat everybody in the game. But suppose you actually know the software that runs Grand Theft Auto. So you step outside of the Grand Theft Auto headset and you can play with the software. Well, you can take the gasoline out of the tank of the wizard. You can give him a flat tire. You can change the geometry of the roads. You can do whatever you want to. So once we understand our space-time headset, we won't have to travel to the Andromeda galaxy through space-time, which would take us 2.4 million years. We can just go around space-time.
I see the world around me as stepping into a greater expression and experience of what it means to be human and what it means to be an aspect of divinity. But I don't think that we have an endless amount of time. I get a sense that time is running out, that it's now or never time. I think.
Okay, so what he's saying, he thinks that we're running out of time, that it's now or never. Well, I don't know if that's true, but I think it's plausible because there are so many people on the earth right now. So many people have chosen to incarnate on earth right now. And a lot of people think it's because now's the time. Now's the time when we need to awaken, when we need these light workers, these healers, these teachers. We need these people here to help elevate humans and consciousness on earth. So I think it's plausible what he's saying.
I think we're on the right path. I have a sense of optimism that because of the kinds of opportunities that we see today in the world to communicate powerful and important ideas, ways that we didn't have even a few years ago, are creating the possibility that we can get to that place of critical mass, that we can reach critical mass before our time runs out. But we would be mistaken if we think we have an endless amount of time on this planet.
When each individual disidentifies from their conditioned character, then they're no longer acting as an egoic entity. And that brings about a transformation on the planet. This brings a new Earth.
But life as we know it right now on this planet, I think we need to make some changes and make them quickly, dramatically, and radically if we want to see the tomorrow for which we've all dreamt.
So could this understanding become mainstream in our lifetime? Why not? Yes.
The challenge we have right now is nothing is working. And the time has come for us to stand up and say that's true. Surely we can do better than this. Surely.
We can do
We
it.
can expand our understanding of who we are and our expression of our true nature. We need to pay attention to our environment, to our politics, to our economics, and to our spiritual process on this planet. Because the problem in the world today is not a political problem. It's not an economic problem. It's not a social problem. It's a spiritual
problem.
It has to do with how committed we are to stepping into the highest spiritual truth. This is not New Age philosophy. These ideas have been around for thousands of years.
Literally.
The perennial wisdom has been expressed through countless traditions and cultures, and like awareness itself, has always been hidden in plain view. In Christianity, the Gnostic Gospel of Thomas contains direct pointers to our true nature. The disciples asked Jesus, "When will the kingdom come?" Jesus said, "It will not come by waiting for it. It will not be a matter of saying, 'Here it is,' or 'There it is.' Rather, the kingdom of the Father is spread out upon the earth, and people do not see it. The kingdom is not here or there. Awareness is not here or there. It is not fixed in time and space. If you are waiting for something to happen, for some outward event or some state, some ascension, some healing or some energy, then your conditioned mind is still seeking. It is still mediating your experience of the now. In Buddhism, they say samsara, the world of suffering, and nirvana, the world of liberation, are not two separate worlds. They are one and the same. We don't manipulate or change things to arrive at some mystical reality. When we awaken, the perfection of the world is revealed directly as it is.
Yes. I can confirm that.
Is it possible to simply be here and now in this moment, unmediated by that seeking mind? Is it possible to be okay with this moment as it is? To simply be.
Did y'all see the Buddhas? That's it! That's it for part 1! If any of y'all would like me to send you the link so you can rewatch parts you may have missed or that you want to review, let me know. If there's any parts that you want to review right now, let me know. We can watch it again. They're all labeled. There is a part 2, so I figured maybe we can watch that next week. And for the rest of tonight, we can like discuss things and just hang out. But I drank like a lot of water during that, so I'm gonna BRB. I hope you guys stick around to chat about it. I want to hear what you think, what you felt. So yeah, I'm gonna BRB. My favorite song, guys.
Clouds come over me. It gets hard. I feel like I can't breathe. I rise higher than I've ever been. I look within and say, frequencies, breathe it in. I am enough.
I feel like I'm in a church right now. Something like that. All right, so what y'all think? Did y'all watch a lot of it? Did some of y'all watch all of it? Did y'all fall asleep? Did y'all feel any of it like trigger something within you, or things you thought were interesting or that you could relate to? Anything at all? So, I will say something that I did want to say during that whole thing is we underestimate the power of sound. Sound is so healing, and it's so big. Like, if in a lot of religions, you'll notice that the first thing there was sound. Like, God said, let there be light. Or there's a big bang, or there's just a big om. Like, it's all about sound. And there are literally sound healing temples in Egypt. Ancient temples that we know for a fact were used just for sound healing. I think I've already said this in another stream. But yeah, sound is very important, and there are actually healing frequencies. They're called the solfeggio frequencies, and they actually heal your body. And so, yeah, sound is very powerful. Words are very powerful. Who's the artist? That artist is Activation Vibration. I can link you the song. She does a lot of music. She doesn't do the singing. The ones where she collaborates with people singing is interesting. This is my favorite by her. It's honestly her best work. Her others are okay, but I will give you the link to that song. She creates high vibrational music. Hang on. I sent it to you. I'm feeling that drowsiness now that I hit my bed. Aw, Macho. That's understandable. You work so hard. Trying to word it in my brain. Lots to think about. I couldn't really relate to having an awakening experience yet, but I love the part about meditation because I've been doing it for a while and it's super helpful. Yes! Yes, Patricio! If you would like to join us on like a guided meditation, I would love to do that with you guys. If we have enough people that are interested, I would do that junk so fast. Not even playing. Hello, Smiles! How are you? I don't know if I've had an awakening experience, but it's interesting. That'd be fun for sure. Yes, let's freaking do it. We can all meditate together and raise consciousness. You know, there have been like studies that have shown that when like a lot of people get together and meditate on just like peace and kindness and, loving kindness, as they say in Zen, that a lot of violence like lowers. Violence and crime rates lower, and it's honestly mind-boggling. But as soon as people stop meditating, it goes back up. You'll know when you have one. Yes, you will know. And it's okay if you haven't. It's totally fine. But it's still good to be educated about it, And you don't have to, like, I'm not asking if you guys have only had an awakening experience. I just want to know how you guys feel about the video. I thought it was so incredibly important to share this video. I actually only found this video a few days ago, but it was so educational, and it described things that I have been feeling and like truths that I have known personally for years. And it explained things that are so hard to explain, and like puts them in a perspective that, you know, a lot of people can understand. Because when I try to talk about it, I sound like a babbling idiot. They're like, oh, what the heck you talking about? What you on, girl? Yes, prayer is important. As I said before, prayer is when you speak to God, source, whatever you want to call it. And meditation is when you listen. Because you're listening to yourself. And all of us are a part of God and source, whatever you want to call it. Yes, yes, yes. Isn't there something about prayer is sacred, but when more are gathered, God is among them? God is always among you, because you are a part of God. You're a reflection of God. But, I mean, yes, when there are a bunch of people praying for the health and safety of others, for peace and kindness and love, then yes, the overall frequency and collective, it raises for the collective. So that is why we see decreased, violence and things like that during those times. So, if you guys would be interested in knowing my experience with this kind of stuff, it just, like they said in the video, it for a lot of people, it just happens. Like, you don't even know anything about this stuff, and then one day something happens and it causes an interruption in your consciousness, in your way of living, and it makes you question like everything. So what had happened to me, it actually wasn't even that long ago. Like, it feels like it's been 10 years, but it's really only been about 6 years. So my case was a common case. I had reached like rock bottom. Absolute, like, I was ready to die. I was so depressed and just, I literally wanted to die. And I couldn't die. I knew I couldn't. Like, it wasn't an option for me. And I had no support. I grew up with a family, but that family abandoned me when I was very young. And so I had no support. And I was seeing somebody. I was living with a guy, and he put me in that place because he told me all these negative things. All like, nobody loves you. The only person who'll ever love you is me. You're ugly. You know, you're stupid. Like, everything you aspire to be is just dumb. Like, even your family don't love you. Like, you know, stuff like that. And so I would have like literal breakdowns where I would just be curled up in a ball, crying and crying and crying for hours, and just like hurting so bad. So bad. Like, it is the worst feeling in the world when you want your life to end, but you can't. You just can't. It sucks. So I was going through one of my breakdowns again when something inside of me just clicked. Like, it was like a light switch. It's crazy. Like, something inside me switched and was like, wait a second, this isn't it. This is not right. I don't need to feel like this. I'm not supposed to feel like this. This is not me. And you know what? I'm not gonna feel like this ever again. And it's when you get to that point where you're so determined, you don't care what it takes. You are gonna go hug a tree. You are gonna shave your head and become a monk. You are gonna stop eating meat and dairy, and you're gonna do all this stuff that everybody thinks is just so freaking weird. And you just don't care because you know you have to do it. because you will not be back in that place ever again. You will not allow it. And I haven't. It was like a switch. It's crazy. And so that's when I started my journey. It's when I was like, I don't care what I got to do. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to, you know, the studies say be out in the sun for 15 minutes a day. All right. I'm going to go out on my porch 15 minutes a day in the sun. I'm going to let that sun shine on my face. I'm going to do some yoga. I'm going to read some spiritual books. I'm going to learn about monks. Like, and I did it. And it worked. It worked, guys. It worked. Everything started aligning, like, slowly but surely. Like, better things started coming to my life because I was happier. It was all within me. And that's what it takes. You just, sadly, a lot of the time, people have that experience out of deep, deep, deep pain. Deep, deep, deep depression. Rock bottom. Or you lose somebody that you really love, causes you to go into depression. You get in an accident. You know, it usually takes something like that. Yeah, a diagnosis. Like, sadly, it usually takes something like that. But it does not have to. It doesn't have to. You can educate yourself, and you can listen to yourself through meditation. And I will help you with that if you would like. Hi, good and good. How are you? Thanks for stopping in. Health is wealth. It really is. It really is. And I could go into a whole thing about that, but yes. So I will say two of the things that I remember made the biggest impact on me right after that event that I described. I read 2 books. And I always recommend these books to people that are just starting this journey. It's The Happiness Advantage. And then I've actually learned way later, this is a way more advanced text than what I should have been reading back then, but it helped me. It's The Art of Living by Thich Nhat Hanh. Thich Nhat Hanh is the only Buddhist monk that I really know anything about except for the Dalai Lama. But he literally helped save my life. And he died a couple of years ago, and I've never cried over somebody dying that I didn't know. But I literally cried when I found out he died, because he was such a great dude, and he really made an impact on my life. But he's a Buddhist monk, and he talks about the whole notion of, you know, a lot of what we were seeing tonight, whereas, you know, he describes it as no self. That's a way to describe one consciousness, sacred unity, whatever you want to call it. The Buddhists call it no self, which means you are not yourself. You are a part of the collective. Like, you're a part of Source. That's basically what that means. But when I first read that, like, you are nobody, I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, what do you mean I'm nobody? I've always been somebody, and now you're trying to tell me I'm nobody? What the hell does that even mean? It took a long time for me to understand that. And you know what? You just got to be gentle with yourself during this process too, because it takes time, and it's okay. Like, it is part of our purpose here as humans, is to learn and just relax, be gentle with yourself, and experience it. And that's what we're here for. That out of context Buddhism. What? It's not out of context at all. I was literally talking about how Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh changed my life. Health is a touching topic if you think about it. Oh, definitely. Back when I thought I might have cancer, that was like one of the toughest moments of my life. Like, I still cling to life. It's normal as humans. I still cling to this life, even though I believe firmly that it's all just a string of consciousness. It doesn't end and it doesn't begin. It's just another journey. But I still cling to my life and who I am, and I think that's normal. So when you get a diagnosis, or, you know, you get a scare, it's normal to feel scared. You are nobody as the headliner. No! That could be taken so wrong. But yes, that was my awakening experience, or at least the beginning of it. I will say that when I started meditation, which I did start meditation, I started by downloading the Headspace app. And it was alright. It helped me. It was hard at first, but you get used to it. You just gotta practice it, and we can do that together if y'all like. I forgot where I was going with that. I forgot where I was going with that. Whoopsie. So happy you exist on this planet. You're a saint and one of my favorite people. Aw, good and gay. Thank you. Oh yeah, I will say that. Is that ever since I've had this experience... Oh yeah, I was going to say... Yes, I was going to tell you about my other experience. Okay, I'll say that after this. So, I feel like, you know, I was here... I'm put here on this earth to help raise the consciousness of the collective. To help people. To help people realize the truth of who they are. And to live happy lives. Because once you realize that, you're so much closer to living a happy life. And I want all of you guys to be happy and know the peace and joy of what it is to really live. You have to allow yourself to really live, and you can do that not by meditating, but just being present, you know, coming back to your body, noticing how you feel, noticing the smells, the sounds, what you see, you know, you notice your feelings, and then acknowledge them, appreciate them, love them, and let them go. And once you do that, like once you get into the habit of doing that, time slows down. Like if you're constantly unconscious of what your body's doing or your thoughts or whatever, you're on autopilot and the time flies. I mean, really. Once you reach a certain age, time flies. But if you stay present and rooted and grounded and take time to breathe and notice things around you, spend special time with the people you love, and realize how important that is the most important thing. Spending time with people you love and loving others. I mean, that's what we're here for, is to love others and to help other people realize their true state of being. And yeah, I do believe that I was put here for that. And that is why I thought it was so important to share this video with you guys, with as many of you that could be here tonight, because I feel like even if you haven't had an experience, like an awakening experience, if you're not religious, if you're not spiritual, like if you're none of that, at least watching this, you will have some information, like you will have some education. It could spark something, you know, and if I can be a part of making your life happier, then sheesh, that's making my life happier, because we're all one. We're all together. Like we're all part of the same consciousness. So if I make you happy, I make me happy. So that's what I want. I don't know about you, but that's what I'm trying to do. But yes, going on to the other experience that I really want to talk about. So I actually recently experienced this unity consciousness directly. Very recently. It was a couple of months ago. Out of nowhere. So I went to meditate. I oftentimes go out by myself and try to be out in nature, and I generally like to be by bodies of water. So I went to the lake and I laid down. I do this, which I don't know if it's okay, but I laid down on one of the benches, like one of the tables, picnic tables. And I did like a laying meditation, because I tend to be able to look inside myself better in laying meditation than I do in sitting meditation. I can do both, but I just like zone into myself more when I'm laying down. So I did that, and I just prayed, you know, prayer was a part of it. I prayed to God, and I said, please, God, you put me here on this earth for a reason. What is it? Like, what do I need to do in order to be closer to you, in order to unify humanity, to uplift consciousness? What is my part in it? How can I serve you? And how can I serve everyone? And I just sat with it. And I looked into myself. I quieted my thoughts. And when I tell you, I opened up my eyes and I felt more love in my whole body than I had in my entire life. My body was tingling. And I just had this overwhelming feeling of love for everything. Every person, every animal, every rock, every tree, every creature. Good, bad, ugly. I didn't agree with it. I don't like it. It's stanky. I loved it. And that was the best feeling I've ever had in my entire life. I wish I could feel that way all the time. And some people do, which is nuts. That's what I strive to do, is to feel like that all the time. But yeah, it was amazing. And it is possible. And so that's why I say I directly felt it. The consciousness of that's unified. Insane. And I really feel like I had a really, it may not have been a direct, it could have been a direct connection to God. I don't know. But he allowed me, to open up and feel that, like the truth. Like when I felt it, I was like, damn, son, this is the truth. If I ain't never felt it in my life, this is it. But that's available for everybody. It's not just me. It's not just Da Buddha or Jesus. Every single person can feel that because it is within us already. It's already awakened. We just have to realize it, as they were saying in the video. All you have to do is look within yourself and pray, like Macho said. You don't have to pray to God. You could pray to whatever you believe in, or if you don't believe in anything, just meditate and just ask the universe. Like, the universe is real. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Show me. But when people ask about our purpose and what is the purpose of my life and this and that, to me, it's all the same. Like I said, we're here to love each other and to help each other rise to our true potential. And that's what I feel like I'm here for. And that's why I want to share this message with y'all. And it's really hard, though. It's really hard in today's society. And it's hard on Twitch because, honestly, a lot of the Twitch community is toxic as hell. Especially the VTuber community. Like Viku said, I usually just kind of don't really have a part in that. And I've always been that way. Like, I've never been a part of VTuber drama purposely. It happened a couple of times on accident. That was stressful. But it's like, it's just difficult. But it's possible. I know. And I think that doing, group meditations on here would be a great way to do it. We could watch spiritual videos, kind of like what we watched today. We can watch part 2 of the video that we watched today. There's 2 parts next week. But we can also play video games and do other stuff too, but of course. But yes, the divine spark is in all of us. We just had to reach deep down and grab it. Oh my God, Piku! Oh my gosh. But yes, I hope this has been some food for thought. If you missed a lot of the video, please go back and watch the VOD. If you have anything at all you want to talk to me about, or, any questions, or you think that I might be able to answer, or whatever, like, I'm here, man. I'm here for it. I'm here for you. It's what I feel like I'm here for. Even on Twitch. I don't know. Like, I've always wanted to make a community that's open and loving and accepting of every single body. You guys know that. And I feel like we've done a good job about that so far. It makes me happy seeing you so filled with love for people. Yes, I am people, so of course I love people. It sounds crazy, and like, I also really like Ram Dass. I don't know if you guys have heard of Ram Dass. I watched the documentary on him. Well, there's a couple of documentaries, but I watched Becoming Nobody was the name of it. So Ram Dass was this spiritual dude, and he like studied over in India with a guru for like ever, and he was all about like Buddhist practices and meditation and stuff like that, but he was just like a very real, like, average American dude at that time. And he just, the movie talked about his path to enlightenment. Like, he's always searching for enlightenment and not finding it, and kind of like what they said in the video. And I mean, I cried during that movie when he was talking about the truth of, like, reincarnation and how life, like, never really ends. Like, it really moved me to the point of tears the first time I watched it, because I guess it was all kind of new to me at that point. I recommend watching it, by the way, if you haven't watched it. Becoming Nobody by Ram Dass. Well, it's about Ram Dass. But I watched it a second time very recently, and it didn't move me at all. I guess maybe because all those theories and ideas had already been, like, I already know about them and I already embody them, so it didn't move me as much the second time. But I went into that whole thing because Ram Dass says something interesting about our experience here as humans. He explains our experience as we're born and we have these flesh suits. Think of it as like a spacesuit. You're born into the spacesuit, you learn how to use it, you get better at using it, and then eventually people start, like, complimenting your spacesuit, and you eventually become your spacesuit. You can't separate from it anymore unless you really try to. So I've accidentally said that to some people, like, on accident. It's like, oh, well, we're just in flesh suits. And I was like, damn, that sounds, like, really weird and, like, creepy. Probably should have said that. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting way to put it. I said this when we were watching the video, but I really love the analogy of we're all like waves in the ocean. So the ocean has waves. The wave rises, and then it falls and returns to the ocean. It's not ever a different part of the ocean. Like, it's not ever apart from the ocean. It's always a part of the ocean. It just rises and falls, and then comes back again and rises and falls, you know? That's consciousness. I'm gonna use that term, flesh suit. Yeah. Yeah, like, I accidentally said that the other day at work. Like, this girl that I work with, she said, this guy taught me how to dance for the first time ever the other night. She's like, but I don't know if I should date him or not. And I was like, girl, why not? She showed me a picture, and, you know, she was a white girl, and this is a black dude. She's like, well, and I'm like, girl, please. It's like, we just in flesh suits, okay? That don't matter. If you want to date this dude and you like this dude, who cares? Let's go for it. Everyone has times where they meet their lowest, but eventually there will be something to hit the peak to make our day better. Yeah, you just got to be open to it. Like, it's really hard to navigate human emotion, and it's really hard to separate from it. It's okay. It's okay to be angry and to be sad, and that's just part of the human experience. That's why we're here. If we didn't want to be here for the human experience, we would not have incarnated. We're here to experience and to learn and to love and all that stuff. Surely I'm talking a lot. I'm not used to this. Anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I might put together like a poll or something. Or I don't know. I might just announce that we'll do like a meditation stream or something. Maybe we'll do it next week. Does that sound good to y'all? Oh, my goodness. Aw, Patricio, yes! It'd be so great if we could do it. A session is good for the audience. Yes! And also, I am studying energy healing, if you guys don't know. I'm not practicing yet. But, you know, you guys know everything's energy and all this and that. And our bodies actually have, like, this big energy field around it at all times. And it changes based on, you know, our emotions and our experiences and all this stuff. And It's like, I'm sure some of you guys have heard of Reiki. Reiki is a form of energy healing that's more widely accepted than what I'm studying, but it's still interesting. Good vibes. Yes, that's what we strive for. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the video. Would you guys be up for watching the second part next week? Yo, what's up, Tin? Welcome in. Spoopy ghost still bothering you? I ain't saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing about that. We don't mention it. It's a good first step to knowing yourself and healing. Yes, absolutely. Like, if everybody on the planet meditated for just like 10 minutes a day, it would change a lot. For sure. And it's like proven scientifically to be good for your health. It is really good to quiet your mind and just not think about anything. When you quiet your mind and don't think about anything, you can return to your true self. That's when it happens. That's when it happens. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Alright. Well, I don't know. I don't know if we should continue doing something else now. Did y'all want to keep talking, or y'all want to, like, I don't know. I was only planning on streaming for another hour or so. We could watch something else. What do y'all want to do? I wonder if there's any other, like, interesting videos I can show y'all. You have a question? Do you wango? What the hell is that? A wombo? I don't really want to go. I want to spend time with you guys. Oh my god. Does yoga count as meditation? It is a form of meditation if done properly. So yoga is all about like using your breath to come into your body and like feel the poses that you're going through. And it can, of course, it's good for your health, good for building strength, flexibility. Yes, it's very spiritual. It can be very spiritual, or it cannot. It's what, as everything, it's what you make it. Honestly, anything can be a meditation. Thich Nhat Hanh came up with walking meditation. And what you do during walking meditation is just while you're in the grocery store, or you're walking at school, or you're walking at work, or wherever you are. Just come into your body as you're walking, and then think of, hi Neon Fox, how are you? Thanks for the raid. Welcome in. Welcome. Yes, you walk and breathe and become aware. So you walk and you count how many steps that you walk during your in-breath. And then you count how many steps that you've made during your out-breath. And then you'll notice it's just this nice rhythm, and you just focus on that. But you don't have to do that. You could literally have a meditative experience through doing chores, doing homework. All you have to do is just focus on one thing. That's all meditation is focusing on one thing, really. Or focusing on no thing if you're an expert, or if you're advanced, you can just focus on nothing. But generally, especially when you first start out, you focus on one thing, and generally that's usually the breath. Thinking about breathing in, breathing out. And when a thought comes up, you're like, hey, what's up, thought? See ya, thought. That's it. Thank you for the raid, Neon! How was your stream? You're playing Devil May Cry. Nice! How was that? It's been a while since I've seen you. How have you been? As I contemplate, it's a bit more difficult than the usual sitting one because you don't close your eyes to focus for it. Yes, so that is another thing. I still close my eyes for meditation. I'm not an expert. I've only been doing it for about 6 years, on and off. But if you close your eyes, it's generally easier and it's better. But as you progress with your practice, you will get to the point where you can meditate deeply without closing your eyes, if you want to. But I don't do that. Well, I generally don't do that. Sometimes I do, but I do not reach a deep meditative state with my eyes open. I will say that much. Do you know of a channel called Healthy Gamer GG? I do not. I'll have to check that out. Not sure what religion he follows. Oh, that doesn't matter. This is all about spirituality. Spirituality is not religion. That is something that a lot of people make a mistake about. Spirituality is not religion. Religion embodies spirituality, like it is a vehicle to spirituality, but it is not spirituality itself. I wanted to die. DMC4 is being a pain in the butt. Oh, I'm so sorry. Is your game acting up or something? That's so frustrating. Ever felt that thunderbolt shock when you first encountered your spirit guide? I haven't encountered my spirit guide, if I'm being completely honest. I haven't felt guided or touched or reached out to by any like special anything. I've always had a connection to Jesus, like I said, and I've always had a connection to like Asian culture, so like Buddhism was always interesting to me and things like that, but mainly Jesus. And it's not because, you know, that was like my religion growing up, because it really wasn't. I went to church, probably I can count how many times I went to church growing up, like on both my hands. But that was because I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere within the religion of Christianity. And I still don't. Like, I do consider myself a Christian, but not in the way that you know, a lot of Christians think. I'm not a traditional Christian by any means. And you don't have to be, you know? You just don't have to be. Hope you have a wonderful stream. I'm going to bed. Aw, Neon, have a good sleep. Thank you for the raid again. It was nice to see you. What's up, Butterzilla? How's the summer been? It's been hot as heck, man. I can't even go outside my house until it's almost sunset, which sucks. Or, of course, I always meditate, like, first thing in the morning, and it's not as hot then. But really, just early morning and nighttime. It's the only time it's livable. Healthy Gamer GG. I'll have to check that out. Let me look it up. I know I did. It was like a hallway of monks going om at me. That's really cool, but like creepy at the same time. Oh, this dude looks cool. He looks like a young Deepak Chopra or something like that. Alright, I'm gonna subscribe to this dude. Check him out. It was back when I wasn't following Buddhist teachings. That's very interesting. It's probably like a part of your soul or your past life coming into view. I have had like dreams. I've only had like one dream of being in a boat with Jesus and Mary Magdalene and Gabriel for some reason. The angel Gabriel was there for some reason. It's very weird. Hydration, yes. I'm talking a lot more than I usually do. Glasses! Can't see without my glasses. Ah! My glasses are not on my face right. Ooh. Okay. It's a little awkward. It's hard to wear glasses when your nose is so tiny. This guy's a psychiatrist and he studied in India to become a monk too. Many older videos of teaching meditations, lots of conversations that I found helpful. Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely check him out. Oh my gosh, these dudes seem like some interesting topics. Gabriel from the hit mobile gotcha game? No! Talk about the angel. Oh yeah, I think you told me about that, Biku. That's kind of creepy. I love Dr. K, and he and my therapist helped me a lot. Oh, that's so great, Seishi. I'm so glad you found an outlet or something to help. Very important. It is very okay to ask for help. As we've been discussing this whole stream, we are a collective. We're all one, so don't be afraid to lean on others and ask for help when you need it. It's just part of the journey, man. She is an angel. Oh, that's cool, Butter. Yes, yes. Let's see here. What else should we watch? We've got about 40 more minutes. Hobbies, art appreciation. That's a wonderful hobby. Where are my liked videos? Let's see. Oh, I haven't been on here in like forever. Dee dee dee. Could do watch it later. Hyperanxiety and depression with my ADHD was a struggle, but manageable for the most part when I became aware of them. The cause, what I can control, and accept what I can't control. Absolutely. That is a very important thing to try and grasp, is like, we can't control so much. Like, we can't control most things that are outside of us. We can only control what's inside of us. And you will realize that what you create inside your mind it is your reality. So if you condition your mind to be happy and healing and all this stuff, then that will naturally become, over time, your reality. But the brain is a muscle. So you have to train it, and you have to work hard. It's hard. It's really hard. But you have to make those neural pathways. You have to beat that path down in your brain. Everything that we will ever hope and achieve to be is just already inside of us. That's why you hear a lot of like monks and, you know, highly spiritual people say happiness is found within yourself. Because it is. Because everything is a product of your mind. It's a product of your perception. And it's how you look at things and how you react to things. If you tell yourself that today nothing's going to change your vibration, nothing's going to bring you down, then you can do exactly that. Like today I was on such a different frequency. I was so happy, and nothing could bring me down today. It was so amazing. For example, I had a lot of things happen to me that would normally stress me out and like make me angry. Like I was driving to an appointment and I got stuck behind a large like farming equipment truck going like 30 miles an hour in like a 55. And I was just vibing. I was dancing, I was singing, and I was just like enjoying the view. And like I could tell everybody else behind me was getting pissed, but I was just like, all right, we gonna get there when we get there. And ain't not a damn thing I can do because I can't pass on the street. So we just gonna go with it. And it did not faze me in the slightest. Whereas usually I'd be like, I've gotta get to my appointment. Why are you in front of me? Why me? But, you know, I just wasn't a victim today. thought you were gonna rickroll us. No. And like yesterday at work, I had some crazy stuff happen at work. Okay. So first off, I had to go in today for a drug test because I backed a golf cart into one of the maintenance trucks at work. Oops. So that happened. And then after that happened, the golf cart just like completely died on me and I ran into a tree. So I was trying to Flintstone this shit until I could, like, I was like trying to Flintstone it with my feet. And then also trying to like start the battery. I was like, oh shit. Cause that junk was heavy. Golf carts are heavy. And I'm just like, I was like, watch out for that tree. Oh, like Tarzan. But I was laughing. It was so funny to me. I was like, oh my God. All this stuff is happening to me right now. Why is this happening? It is so funny. And then when I was leaving work, I was backing out of my spot and then my car died. I was like, oh my God. Could this be real life? But I was just laughing. It was just funny. I didn't let it affect me in a negative way. But yeah, it's all about how you let stuff affect you. Yep. It's all about the journey. And I've learned a lot. I've learned so much in the past 6 years after that experience I explained earlier. I remember thinking, like, after that experience, everything looks so different. Like, when you have an experience like that and you, like, we have an awakening experience, everything just looks so different. You see the beauty in things and the beauty in life. I remember just looking around me and thinking, wow, how did I not see this? Like, and oftentimes now you can see me just lost. Like, I'm not lost. Like, in my brain, I'm lost in the world because it's so gorgeous and beautiful. And I'm like, damn, we live on this planet? That's crazy. There's so much beauty and love and healing all around us all the time. We just have to stop and look at it and notice it. And I felt like I was opening my eyes for the first time after that. And I was like, wow, I'm so glad I discovered this at the age of 20 something. Like, a lot of people go through their whole lives. Like that dude on that video, he said he had his awakening experience when he was 53. A lot of people go through their whole lives and they don't feel this. They don't open their eyes. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like a lot more people now are. I feel like a lot of people incarnated into this time to be awakened and to help everybody rise up to a greater, higher potential, you know? Bring us all closer to what we truly are and to love each other. Surrounded by precious things. I'm not sure I know that song. I treat those situations like, this is gonna be a funny story later. Yeah! I found myself thinking that too. Like, that's what I think about when I have like an urge to do something that might be weird for other people. Like, if I just want to burst out in song or like dance really weirdly in front of everybody, or just like bust up into my workplace and slam the door wide open and be like, I love you guys. You're all beautiful. Because I want to do that. But then that part of me thinks, well, that'd be really weird. What would they think of me? And then I start thinking about, well, it'd be a story for them to tell later. Like, it's something they'll remember. It's called Ups and Downs from Guilty Gear Strive. Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely know about that game. Or is it? No, it's an anime. I've heard of Guilty Gear, for sure. Alright, I'm on the wrong account to be looking at this. But yeah, I think it's really cool to be talking about this kind of stuff with you guys. I felt I didn't know how tonight was going to go over. because I haven't done anything like this before, but it's something that I've always wanted to do, and it's always like it's always a topic and a theme that I've wanted to have on my channel, but it's just not something that is on Twitch, you know? So I didn't know how it was going to go, but I'm glad you guys enjoyed it and you watched it and you're ready to watch the second part. Don't forget to give to yourself. Oh, I do. I do take care of myself. I feel like I've been taking pretty good care of myself recently, spiritually and physically. I think it's really important to do that. Hello there. I'll be going to bed now. Love the good vibes. Stream was fun. Hope to see you back on Final Fantasy 2 whenever you feel like playing again. Aw, Patricio, yes. Good night. I'll be back on Final Fantasy hopefully later this week. I think I'll be streaming it on Thursday. I was once debating to myself if I should go dance at a party and then said, I got nothing to lose. It's game time. I don't know what I did, but the crowd was hype and night was wow. See? You just gotta let go, man. You just gotta freaking let go. You wanna know why? It's because that's why we're here. We're here to have fun, to experience, to love. And you know what? It's all a game. Once you realize that it's all just one comical game, then you'll feel more comfortable doing the things that you've always wanted to do. Because think about it. One day, it's all gonna be over. Like, every single bit of this is gonna be gone. And some people might think that's depressing, but it's not. It's really not. That's just how things are, and we'll just return to our true selves, you know? None of this will matter. We come into these lives to experience and to be human. And that is an issue that a lot of spiritual people have, is that they spend their whole lives wanting to reach some weird state of enlightenment or become like the Buddha or whatever. And that's just not it, man. That's not it. If we wanted to be some enlightened light being, we would not have incarnated as humans. We incarnate to learn and to experience. We incarnated again because we have stuff we want to grow and know and things we want to do and experience, and we liked being human, so we came back again. I don't think you have to. I personally don't think you have to come back. I think you choose to. And then a lot of people think that so there's been a lot of talk about, I don't know if you guys have ever watched videos or read anything about this, about like near-death experiences. So there's like a commonality in near-death experiences that people have. So they all say that they die and then they see themselves, like they float up and they see themselves, their bodies below them, like the paramedics and the doctors and the who whatever, you know, just like oh he gone. And then they feel like over one of their shoulders, they feel like they're being sucked up into the heaven and into this blinding light. And then they reach this place, and some people say they see like light beings. They see like 13 like bodies of light, but you don't feel separate from these bodies of light. You feel like you're all a part of it, but there is one body of light. There is one thing that's controlling all the things. And then after that, you see your whole life on replay. Like, you just see everything that went on in your life. And then, you know, all your relationships with people, all the impact that you had on people. And then you're asked the question, you know, what I just said. You're asked, okay, what did you learn? What was the impact that you had on other people's lives in this life? How did you help people grow closer to Source, to God? And then I forget what happens after that. Like, I think some people choose to come back. Like, I mean, I know people choose to come back after, you know, when they have a near life, death, whatever experience, because, you know, they come back and tell it. But I think it's interesting. Interesting indeed. Too bad if we did reincarnate, we won't know our old memories. Yes, that is too bad. But there have been cases where children, young children, have remembered their past lives. And there have been cases where people have gone to places where they lived past lives and then just remembered everything about that life. Like they lived it. Like they remembered where their room was and what stuff they had and, you know, where everything in the town was. And some people have flashbacks. I haven't had anything like that because I haven't traveled, but I do feel like if I did travel, maybe to like Egypt or France or somewhere in Asia, I don't know where. I'm pretty sure I've had a life in Asia somewhere. That I might feel something, but I feel like we all should probably feel something if we go to Egypt because I'm convinced that we all came from Egypt, personally. And plus, there's a bunch. That's where a lot of the major energy centers of the world are. A lot of the structures built in Egypt were built on energy ley lines, particularly for that reason, to utilize that energy and for various reasons. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you know anything about Christian religion, you might know about Moses. Moses is said to have been a descendant or some relation to Ramses the pharaoh, Ramses the first or Ramses the third or something like that. Very interesting stuff. So Christianity could have very well started in Egypt. We know that Egypt is in Christianity through the story of Moses. But it's just very, very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. A lot of people think that Jesus is as a reincarnation of the Buddha, Siddhartha. Could be possible. I don't know. I don't claim to have the answers. I'm just here experiencing it with you guys. I'm having this experience. All right. I don't know what we should watch. We've got some time. Oops. I turned that off. Maybe. I turned off the relaxing music. I'm just trying to figure out what to do, man. We could just keep talking if you guys don't mind moments of silence while I think about stuff. Or while you guys think about stuff. We could just sit here talking. You can pick my brain about things if you want. I don't claim to be an expert. I'm a beginner at this. I'm still a beginner. What do we call these? Zatsudan? That sounds very Japanese. But yeah, I still have a lot of growing to do myself and a lot, you know, a lot of people think that you have this thing called a, is it Saturn return or Jupiter return? Yes, it's a Saturn return. So everybody has like a Saturn return, and it usually happens around the year 26. Like when you're 26 years old, you'll usually have like around that time you'll usually have some kind of experience that will make you like question yourself or solidify your purpose or what kind of person you think you are or something like that, which is interesting. You'll get there the day we stop learning is when we stop breathing. Absolutely. That's just exactly what this is. A learning experience. That's what life is. Indeed. Even beginners help. Absolutely. Just gotta have that intention. And I do want to help. It's difficult because the world is very ugly at times. I mean, there's so much ugly about the world. And it's hard to get past sometimes. Like, we all have our triggers, right? But yeah, the important thing is to realize the beauty in it and realize that all the ugliness and all the stuff that man has made, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the end. One day it will not matter. Like, for example, where I live on one of the largest fault lines in America. One day, it is for certain that this whole area where I live will be gone. Like, completely gone. We don't know when it'll happen. But there's going to be a major earthquake here. And it will just disappear. And that's kind of scary to think about. But it also just teaches that everything is impermanent. And don't take things so seriously, man. It's a game. Don't get so fixated on the tiny details. That's worrisome, yes. It is kind of worrisome, but you know what? So are so many other things. You can't, like I said, you can't get fixated on the small things. Or what the coulda, woulda, shoulda. You gotta focus on the now. And that's when you're happiest. Is when you stop the thoughts. When you stop worrying about, oh, who was I yesterday? Or, oh man, I really was an asshole to that dude. Or, why the hell did I talk to my mama like that? Or, you know, something like that. That's in the past. It's not real. It's not real anymore. Yeah, it's a real emotion that you had, and when you see that person or when you think about that, it will evoke that same emotion that you had in that time in your body, and you'll release those chemicals in your brain, and you'll have that whole reaction, but it's not reality anymore, and neither is the future. The future is not reality. That doesn't mean we don't plan. That doesn't mean we don't have aspirations or dreams, but we don't allow our happiness to be set on those things. Like, happy when we get $1 million. Happy when we find the love of our life. Happy when I get that car, when I get that house. Because it's not about that. Like, that's in the future. That's not real. What's real right now is what you can do now. Do your best. Make the conditions for you to be happy. And you can work on that. But the only thing that's real is right now. And that's when you're going to be happiest, is when you realize that. And that was a hard concept for me to understand too, when I first started into spirituality. Because I had just lived a life of attachment. And I'm still very attached to things, don't get me wrong. I'm a Taurus / Gemini. Okay, I can be kind of bougie, and I don't like that about myself. I like nice things. And I'm poor as heck, but I do like nice things. So if I'm going to get something, it's going to be nice. Okay, I'm going to treat myself. But you just don't allow your happiness to depend on those things, is what it is. I love my Hololive cards. They're so pretty and my wallet cries. And that's okay. It's okay to love what you love. It's when you allow that to take over your life and cause you pain is when it becomes a problem. But I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I don't think I'll ever get to the point where I'm just completely unattached. Like, a lot of people are, but I don't have that kind of life. Like, a few years ago when I had that diagnosis that I might possibly have cancer, I remembered falling apart. Like, I had had my awakening. I had been practicing spirituality. I may not have known as much as I know right now, but, you know, I knew about it. And I had my beliefs that we were reincarnated and all this stuff. I wasn't firm in it at that time, but there was an idea that I liked to entertain. But I just cried and cried and cried for days. I felt sick. I was like, oh my God. Oh, like, I could have cancer too. That's scary. And then, you know, a couple of years ago, maybe it was not even a couple of years ago, like, one of my first VTuber friends died of cancer. She was younger than I was. And that hit me so hard. That hit me so hard. I cried. I'd be crying in my bed thinking about her and just her life and what a beautiful person she was, and why did she have to go through that? And it killed me, man. It was so hard to think about. She was the only VTuber friend that I had that I met in person, and it just yeah. It's still hard to think about. The valley of pain, once you come out the other side, there's flowers. There's always peace, and we are peace and we are love, but we are also going through the human experience, and it's normal. So one sec, guys, I gotta BRB. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. As long as you remember her, she lives on. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. She will live another life. She will be beautiful and wonderful another day. Just not as we knew her. I put the fire away. What? But yeah, you know, sometimes, and this, honestly, oftentimes, I just find myself crying. Like tears of joy, like literal joy, because life is so beautiful. A lot of people can't see it, but it is. There are the beautiful parts that are obviously beautiful, and even the ugly parts. They're all part of the experience, and they're just amazing. There are sucky times. There are bad, bad days. But it's just such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. I'll literally cry thinking about it. And usually I find myself getting lost when I'm looking at the sky. I just think about how we live on the most beautiful planet in the solar system. We are so privileged. And you know, everything vibrates at like certain frequencies. Oh, that's what we can watch. We can watch like how the different planets sound. Have you guys ever watched that? That's so interesting to watch. Planet sounds from space. The universe is not silent. I haven't watched these with headphones, so this will be interesting. Let's see. I watched this one. Have I watched this one? I think I've watched both of these. Alright, let's see. Some Star Wars stuff. Alright, so it said, space is not empty. Electromagnetic vibrations span almost all corners of space-time fabric sheet. Each planetary body gives off a unique impression of the electromagnetic spectrum into space. This happens due to the presence of different amounts of charged particles in the vicinity of the planet. I remember this one. It's also due to the presence of different magnetic field strengths of each planet. The signals are mostly in radio wavelengths of the electromagnetic spectrum. NASA's spacecraft instruments can record the vibrations in the audible range of the human ear, about 20 to 20,000 hertz. So we can actually listen to what each planet of our solar system sounds like. Let's have a look at them and try to understand, why do planets sound like this? Right, here we go. You guys have to tell me what you guys think it sounds like. Damn, it sounds like my radio's staticking. Ooh! What the hell is that? Mercury has no atmosphere, and neither has any electromagnetic field. But it's still giving off vibrations in the vacuum of space due to Mercury quakes. Sounds like an airplane having tech problems. Oh, I love this one. It sounds like a singing bowl. This is Venus, the planet of love. Sounds like Om. Mercury has a very dense atmosphere containing huge quantities of carbon dioxide, which do not allow the sound waves to pass easily through the molecules. So the voice that we heard on Venus was very deep. Oh, here's Earth. I don't think this is accurate. This just sounds like some birds tweeting. Like some damn birds. The Earth is Twitter. Due to the presence of Van Allen radiation belts around the Earth, these sounds are generated by the presence of energetic particles in the Earth's plasma sphere, which are coming due to the rotation of Earth's magnetic field. I don't know what any of this means. Oh, here's Mars. Just sounds like a bunch of wind. Mars has a thin atmosphere as compared to Earth, therefore sound waves are free to move on the planet. So the sound waves on Mars would be very much fainter. Bro, this ain't real. This sounds like some crickets. It sounds like outside my door right now. Now it sounds like somebody's playing Call of Duty. Jupiter has the strongest magnetic field amongst all the planets of the solar system. Due to the presence of highly charged particles in Jupiter, the sound of Jupiter resembles that of a frozen lake here on Earth. I heard Call of Duty, I don't know about you guys. It's the Martians! The aliens are coming! This is some Star Trek stuff. Due to the unique composition of the gases on Saturn, it is an intense source of radio wave emissions. There are numerous small radio wave sources moving along the magnetic field lines, covering the auroral region. I couldn't read that. Hey, look, it's Uranus. Why does it look like that? Coco. Oh, Neptune. I can't even. The universe is not silent. Silence! It is not. Oh my god. The most terrifying planet. What the heck? Are we part of a galactic federation? Oh my gosh. Oh, we could look up, hold on, I know what we could look up. We could look up, like, sound effects on water. That's cool to look at, right? If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Nikola Tesla. So this isn't water, but it's still cool. Yeah, it's the sand. I like the effect on water more, but... Geometric patterns will form and become more complex. 345 hertz. That's so cool. This is what I'm saying, guys. Like, we don't understand the strong effect that sound has on matter. On us. We are matter. So it is having these effects on our bodies as well, within ourselves. So it's very important what you listen to and what you expose yourself to, what you consume. Oh my gosh, Azriel. Thank you. Whoa. That's cool. Reminds me of that one toy you could get with the plastic gears and such, and it made patterns with the loops. So I don't remember that. I don't think I had that. Four, 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 four. Interesting. Wow, they're like really cranking up the hertz, aren't they? Incredible shade illusion. Alright, well, it is 11 o'clock. I think it's time for me to go. But it has been a very nice stream. I really enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. But I've got to get some rest because I've got to be up early in the morning. I think we'll raid somebody. It was eye-opening and educational. I'm so glad, Coco! I want to help you guys. I want to raise your vibrations and your frequencies and your whatever. I want to help y'all be happier. If I could, that was my hope today, was by showing this to you guys that it might spark something. If it sparks something within even one of you guys, then I think it was a successful endeavor. I must bully someone. Let's see. I think I'm on the wrong thing here. I'm gonna check and see who's online. Oh, Streamlabs doesn't have a sub, so it doesn't have the emoticons. But if you have a sub, if you copy and paste that, it should bring up the emojis. If you don't have a sub, then you can use that second one there. Let's see, who are we going to raid? Wait, is Whimsy here? Oh! Hi, Whimsy! How are you? It's so nice to see you. How have you been? What's up, girl? Thanks for the shout out to Whimsy. You're playing Genshin? How's that going? Do you like the new characters they're teasing? Sup, Lunchbox? Hi! Am I seeing thing? What are you talking about? I missed you too! Oh my goodness! I'm so glad to hear you've been doing well. Excited for the new expansion in 20 days? What, in Genshin? Or are you talking about World of Warcraft? Are you getting a new country in Genshin? Yeah, there's a new World of Warcraft expansion coming out too that I'll be playing. Probably. That's really cool. Yeah, it's gonna be, what, is it gonna be on the anniversary? You play WoW? Not really. I've always wanted to, but I don't really have people to play with. I have every expansion, and I've played a little bit of every expansion, but I always quit because I don't have anybody to play with. But I want to try again with the new expansion coming out. Yes, I do play WoW, just very, very, very casually. I'm a very big noob at WoW. I used to play a lot back in the day, but not in a very long time. Everything's so new too, they've changed a lot. Yes, we should add each other! Yes, yes, let's play! I need people to play with. Oh gosh, I don't know who to raid. Live channels will think you like. I stopped playing WoW after Legion. That's fair. Macho? I don't know if Macho's playing or not. I still haven't done all of the new expansion of Final Fantasy either. Got to get on both of those. But yeah, I've been kind of playing the Mists of Pandaria remix. It's kind of fun. I think it's a really cool concept. It's a nice way to level up. So I've been kind of doing that in my spare time. Trying to get leveled up for the expansion. I figured we might do that tomorrow. I don't know if we're playing, we might play WoW tomorrow or Thursday. Stream was so good. We watched a very important video. It was like a video about spirituality. And yeah, I'm thinking we might do some guided meditation streams in the future. I made so many alts on remix. I've hit character count twice. Oh my goodness. I only just found out about it. Like, day before yesterday. But it's been a lot of fun. I still don't know who the heck to raid. Do you guys have any suggestions on who to raid? Tried Classic WoW and realized how painful it was. Yeah, Classic WoW is very painful. Mango Framer. Yeah, I saw Satsumi was live, but I'd like to raid somebody new. Alright, I guess we'll raid Mango Framer then. Meet somebody new. I haven't done much raiding or in-game content in WoW. Like I said, I'm a total noob in WoW. I've done like story stuff, but I haven't really done anything else. I've always wanted to do like mythics and big raids. I think I've done maybe a couple of like the very first raids, Like I remember doing like a lava place, like molten core or something like that. I don't know. It was something like that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. It was a wonderful stream. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. We'll be doing part 2 of this stream next week, probably on Tuesday, just like tonight. And yeah, maybe we'll do a meditation stream as well one day next week. I will get back to you guys on that one. It's so nice to see you. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow. I am streaming tomorrow. Same time, 8 p.m. I think we'll be playing WoW, so I'll see y'all then. Play some Pandora remix we've been talking about. Yes, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central. If you missed a bit of it, yes, it was a very, very interesting and a very important stream, so if you're interested in what content we went over, we went really in depth with some stuff, so like some personal stuff, some spiritual stuff. I don't mean religious stuff, I mean spiritual stuff. There was a little bit of religions in there, but spiritual stuff, really important stuff. So go check out the VOD if you wanna find out more, or if you wanna know the link to the video that we watched tonight, please reach out to me. I will more than gladly give it to you so you can go over it more or refer it to others or whatever you wanna do with it. Hope the VOD gets saved. Oh, me too. I hope it doesn't get muted or something. That would suck. Oh my gosh. Is that the one that made the square shape? That's funny. That's so funny. Okay. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bye bye!